Okay, this is April 19th, Thursday. We're going to look at the S&P E-mini, S&P 500 E-mini, and we're going to look at some trade setups for the daily money-making segment over on processtrading.com using the Right Edge trading system. So we're going to take one discretionary trade, and we're going to take 4 trend trades, and we're going to go over those here. So as we look at the processtrading.com system, we know that the VWAP system here also serves as support and resistance. And since it just broke through, price just broke through support, the VWAP line turned gray. And we know that when it's gray and we have red indications, that we can go ahead by the management of the trade, go to take trades to the short side. But that is if it's in conjunction with timing alert dots. Here we don't have a timing alert dot, but it did break support here. So now we're going to look to our discretionary indicators for further confirmation. And when we look down at the cntrt indicator here, we see that there's very little green, so there's not much energy to the upside. And the energy turns weak when the bars turn gray, and eventually it's turning red down here. Another very strong indication is the sentiment oscillator, where we have momentum crossing through the upper bound and crossing through the sentiment line, this dashed line here, and the slope of that sentiment line is also down. And we know the nature of that line is to go from the higher bound to the lower bound and take price with it. Then on the short-term trend oscillator, we see that the line has come down to the pullback line. This line in the middle here is the pullback line. And indeed, if price was going to gain more energy and go back up, it usually will hit this line and then it will go back up that way. But in this case, it fell through it. So here's our first trade right here as a discretionary trade. We get in it there. And if we only want to take a point or two, we're out somewhere in this area. Although if you wanted to and you knew how to use the system, you could trade it all the way down for the whole trend, and that would be 15 points right there. But our next 4 trades are going to be trend trades, and so with the process trading right edge trading system, you look to the VWAP, and if the VWAP is gray, then you can only take trades to the short side, and you can only take it when you have a timing alert dot that is above the price bars, such as this one right here. And the way that you do that through the trade management is you look to the very low of that, and we see the low here is 92.75, and you place your order entry 2 points below that. So that would have got us in at 90.75, which is right about here. Now, we look when we see this timing alert dot and we place our order entry 2 points below the low, we can look down to the other indicators and we see that there still is energy to the upside, but we see that the momentum is starting to fall off a little bit, starting to come down through the upper bound. But furthermore, after we've got in right at this point here where it's hit, then we see that from the energy point that it is turned weak because of the gray bars, and then also negative because of the red bars. The momentum has crossed the upper bound, is going down, is crossed through the sentiment oscillator, and the sentiment oscillator itself is crossed through the midline and sloping down. And that the short-term trend oscillator hit the pullback line and indeed is pulling back. So we don't have to look at the discretionary indicators to follow the trade management for it, but you can see how it works as a system altogether, how they confirm each other. And also under the trade management, you can see like here is a timing alert dot right here that you could have taken, but by trade management rules, the low of that bar was 92.75, and you would have had to get in at 90.75, which it didn't occur down here. And then when price went back up, so that's part of the system, that when you're going to sell into weakness. Now you buy into strength and you sell into weakness. And this is the process, because if price is indeed weak, then it's going to come down to your point and it's going to go through it. And you'll see it does it on this timing alert dot, on this one, on this one, on this one. They are all effective. They all are accurate. On this one, and on this one here, that you never would have got into that trade because of the trade management system. So that's our setups for today. You would have made about 15 points, $750 with one contract. You would have made one discretionary trade and 1, 2, 3, 4 trend trades. So if you find it interesting, I hope you subscribe. And if you want to know more about the right edge trading process, head on over to processtrading.com and check out the indicator analysis and the Emini Money Minute blogs.